Thank you. Wow, that is tremendously nice. Thank you very much. Well, happy Thanksgiving. All right. Well, I will share this with you. I suffer from OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. Ah, thank you. Suffer. That word is overused, don't you think? I think the term suffer should be reserved for people writhing in agony on the ground. They're suffering. You know, am I allowed to run up to them? You're preaching to the choir! I have to alphabetize everything! Quit wriggling around! I'm trying to count your ribs! The alphabetizing thing is not true, at least in my case. People think I'm weirder than I am, and it's hard for me, you know? Like they ask questions like, Brian, with your OCD, do you have to alphabetize your books at home? And I'm like, no. I organize my books by when I got them chronologically on the top shelf. I don't have to alphabetize my books, I'm not a kook. And the bottom shelf is for the books I finished reading, organized chronologically. I don't have to alphabetize them. And the middle shelf is for the books I'm in the process of reading. Those are organized chronologically. When I start reading a book, I just move it from the top shelf to the middle shelf. And I know exactly what you're wondering. Well, wouldn't reading the title of the book count technically as being in the process of reading the book? Then how would you distinguish between the top shelf and the middle shelf? Well, the way I do it, I make myself read all of page 1 before I allow a shelf change. I don't count the introduction or the foreword or the book jacket. I do read all of that word for word, but then I make myself read all of page 1, all the way to the bottom. Unless it ends in the middle of a sentence, I make myself turn the page. I finish the sentence to complete the thought. I turn the page back. I write down what date that book was started. I move that to the middle shelf furthest on the right. I don't have to alphabetize my books. I'm not out of my mind. You know, when I first suspected that I might have OCD, I Googled it. And there are different symptoms. And some I have, and some I don't. And the ones I have, some I have more strongly than others. So I decided to make a color-coded graph. I wish I was making this up. I listed the symptoms, and I said I'm going to rate from 0 to 10 how strongly I feel I have each symptom. I'll total it up and divide it by the number of symptoms. If I'm higher than 5, I'll seek professional treatment. If I'm under 5, I'll self-diagnose that I am A-OK. Number 1, are you the type of person who has to check the stove over and over again to make sure it's off? And I'm like, 0? That's Looney Tunes land. Number 2, are you the type of person who has to wash your hands repeatedly? And I had this nagging feeling that I forgot to answer that first question. So I looked up, yeah, I did write 0. Okay, hand washing, 6. I'm like, that ain't even right. I scribbled that out, I got some ink on my hands, I went to go wash my hands. While I'm washing my hands, I'm like, why did they mention stove? So I checked the stove. It was on, I'm like, I'm never gonna make that mistake again, and I came back and I changed hand washing to 2. I did the whole test, it averaged 5.0, so I'm like, I still don't know. So I decided to buy a book about it. I gotta get to the bottom of it somehow, right? I go into the bookstore, I asked the clerk, can you tell me where the self-help section is? And she said, why don't you try to find that yourself? Well, I finally found the section. It was so disorganized, I spent the next 3 hours rearranging all their books rather than finding out whether or not I have OCD. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Come here, come on and on. I said, and it's on and on and on.